Hi, friends. Welcome back to Funk Productions and welcome back to our video series on tension and release. Today we're going to talk a little bit about um, the in between the tension and in between the release. There's something else, and that is certainly your breath. We're titling this one Power of Pause, Finding Release Through Your Breath. So, hi everyone, welcome back to Zafang Productions Intention and Release, which is a video call series on discovering the self via some shadow work. I like to call uh sorry I I don't really enjoy using the word shadow, although it's a very apt description of the areas of ourselves that we are working with. However, I prefer to be calling it self directed psychoanalysis. Anyways, in this form, I just want to say welcome back. Thank you for continuing your support. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. Please feel free to comment on any of the videos or the podcasts on my channel, and don't feel afraid to leave your comments too. So we're gonna start just with a brief introduction, really, and I want you to just take a moment right now and just notice the subtle tension you might be holding in your body. You know, it could be, oh gosh, I gotta cook, I gotta pick up kids, I gotta do something for work, anything like that. Just, maybe it's like you're in your jaw or your hunched shoulders, like mine today, or a slight clench in your tummy, right? And remember that this is all a very natural part of our everyday lives. This kind of discomfort is almost an everyday companion. And today I just want to talk to you about how much we can really work with that tension and not against it. And it's so easy. Just by you using a tool you already have with you at all times. Your superpower is your breath. We'll explore a little bit more as I continue on, but the relationship between tension and release. So let's start with the accumulation of tension. Think about tension as a knot that tightens over time. It's like the physical manifestation of stress, to worry about a deadline, the anxiety of a difficult conversation, or the pressure to perform, right? It's really all about our nervous system in its effort to protect us, right? And it signals our muscles to contract by preparing us for either fight or flight. This is a very powerful survival mechanism we have in our modern world, but we often say that in this state of heightened alert, long we often stay in the state of heightened alert long after the threat has actually passed. And to just talk on threats and passing threats, 90% of the time, the thing that made us this tense, the reason for us having these knots, it doesn't happen, right? Let's use the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, the discomfort does not materialize, okay? So we just end up carrying this physical weight of our thoughts and emotions, and it can feel like a really, really heavy burden. But we might not even realize that we're holding on to tension until we stop to actually pay attention. That is when I love to flip the A words to I words, just flip around the vowels of it. So instead of you develop an understanding of your nature, your true self, and just your body, you develop an inner standing. So instead of paying attention, it is now an intention. But before we get stuck on just tension, because I'm sure I could speak for hours about tension, I really want to move on to the action of the release, right? Because it's tension and release. So, what is the action of that release? How do we begin to unravel these knots? And it's very, very simple. The answer lies in one conscious act of release. And the simplest path there is through your breath. When we are stressed, our breath becomes shallow and rapid, like when we are running, right? So I'm sorry to all the runners, but I really don't understand maintaining the same breathing of when you are stressed out. I would like to say, like in swimming, what we want uh, deliberately to take a slow, deep inhale. And we signal to our nervous system that we are safe. We can even visualize this process, right? Imagine that as you inhale, you are gathering all the stress and tension into one single point. Hold it at the top of your breath and just for a moment acknowledge its presence right here. This big giant knot. We've inhaled. And then as we exhale, slow release. Visualize this tension dissolving, transforming, transmuting, and releasing, flowing out of your body like a gentle wave. And this is just a metaphor, okay? This deep, mindful exhalation actually activates the parasympathetic nervous system, and the rest and digest mode is bringing your body back into balance. Remember the mode that we were before this, fight or flight? Now we're in rest and digest. So now we're in balance. And that's all that's required. That is all a pause is, literally just that one little moment. So the practice isn't about eliminating tension entirely, because life will always give you challenges. Instead, it really is about creating a conscious loop, being tension, acknowledgement that it's there, and then the release, right? Allowing it to just dissipate away. And the more we practice, the more we learn to notice tension as it arises. The quicker we can respond by calming our breath. We teach our bodies and our minds how to move from a state of constant contraction to one of deliberate expansion. I'd like to leave you, I'd like to leave today's video cast with a small challenge. So the next time you feel any tension in your shoulders, in your tummy, anywhere, just don't fight it. Don't fight it. It's not a problem. You don't have to solve it. It's nothing that needs your attention right away, especially for survival. What you want to do is just acknowledge that it's there. Oh, feeling this right here in my chest. And then take a slow, deep breath in. We try to hold that breath and just exhale it away. So you use your breath as a powerful tool to create space and freedom for yourself within the self. And that's it for today. I look forward to having you back on the video cast for tension and release, where we dive a little bit deeper into sensuality, sexuality, breath work, and whatever other tool you use to get your body to rest and digest. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. I hope to see you next week again. Like, subscribe, please share, and feel free to comment or ask me any questions you may have. Be brave, be you, be strong. Peace.